There's Nick Folk ready to put this one in the air. And we are underway in Foxborough. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So now the Patriots getting set to take over on offense. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their third-year quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one is capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
To the air right away is Brady. Brought in by Coates. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 11 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
On play action, now Brady. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll give to Falk up the middle. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
3rd and 5. Brady now to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
The Patriots send out their punter. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the Jets offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. So out comes the offense now with a long field ahead of them. And trotting out there leading them is their 4th-year quarterback.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
Name it to throw on first down. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hands, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. Now a 2nd and 10. To throw is Namath. And his throw is incomplete.
Haven't met a corner that's worth his salt yet that ever admits to worrying about man coverage. How about the play there, breaking that pass up?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Namath. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Partner, I came into this game eager to see how they would hold up in man coverage. And on that play, they held up quite well.
Here's 2nd and 10. And he'll push forward for a couple to the 34. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. From the gun, it's Namath. And he is caught. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice sustained series to begin the game, and it will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
2nd and 10. Up the middle, it's Martin. And he's going to take this down close to the first as he's brought down at the Patriots 28. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Okay, didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. Namath to throw. And that is incomplete. So 2 third down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
They'll run for it. Martin. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard. So he needed the short yardage, Charles. He elected to try to bounce it outside of the outer 3rd, unsuccessful.
Sometimes those plays are stacked up by the defense and there's nowhere to go, so you have to bounce it outside. And some backs just get impatient. They want to go to where they think there's more open territory instead of going where the play was actually blocked. In any case, it didn't work here.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Brady to throw. Looking for Edelman, and he hits him. It's complete. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
A gain there of 21 yards.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Throwing on first down is Brady. It's complete. He finds Falk here. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play. But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this third down. Working from the gun, it's Brady. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
The Patriots send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Solid way to start the drive, 13 yards, picking up the first.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, we keep stats on everything, don't we? This is one that you don't want to have. That's his second drop right here in the first quarter.
Yeah, I was going to say only in the first quarter. Certainly a ship that he wants to right quickly. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Now Namath. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. There's no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you get your best people in the area to try and take that away.
Yeah, they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
First down, here's the run with Martin. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now a 2nd and 6. Here's Namath. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Super Bowl 49 hero Malcolm Butler.
And this might not be the last interception we see, Brandon. Both of these teams like to throw the football, but here in this snow, ball's not going to always go where you want it to. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
New England trying to get a place on offense. We sort of suspected that the elements might wreak havoc on both of these offenses, and that's been the case. No points on either side as this drive begins with a first down. The They'll start this drive out on the ground. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here now, 2nd and 4.
In motion is Welker. Ready to throw on 2nd down. He finds his man, complete. That's Morgan. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now a give inside for Falk. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
2nd and 5.
Play action. Now it's Brady. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Morgan. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game.
1st and goal from just inside the 5. They'll set up to run the quarterback draw.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Tried to go draw play out of the gun down here.
Yeah, they tried to spread things out, didn't they? They wanted to move people away from the center of the field, away from the line of scrimmage near the ball, so that the runner could find some space. Unsuccessfully, though.
On the handoff, this is Falk. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And his kick is good.
So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away.
Taken at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
The New York set to take the field.
But not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting 1st downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. So the completion good for just 3. And it's second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They'll try the middle with Martin. Not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Three 3-0 after one on EA Sports. The Jets with the football here to start the second quarter, as they've got it with a third down coming up. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing is Namath.
And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. Fourth down.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. With it is Brown. That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
Now it's 1st and 10 after a costly penalty there on fourth down. They'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll set up to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
And this offense on third down today, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw again. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. New England's offense set to go. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. And a quick throw here, that's complete. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. On the give, here's Falk. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
To throw is Brady.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And the Jets will take over.
New York set to take the field. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Well, that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I've got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
Now here's a throw that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Here is 3rd and 5.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
And that one to the right side and incomplete.
The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Patriots take over. On 1st down, Brady.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
They fake the handoff. Now Brady. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
That's well done defensively. They get the pressure they needed on 3rd down. All the receivers are locked up tight, and they force that quarterback to just throw it away.
The Patriots send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
To throw on first down is Namath.
Throwing middle, and it's complete. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4.
Back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A 6-yard pass on back-to-back plays. Picks up the first. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3-and-out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
On 1st and 10 now, Namath.
This one complete. Left side to Corbett. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
They run over center with Martin. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Off the play fake, it's Namath.
Over the middle, complete. That's Martin. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
From the gun, a give to Martin. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3-and-out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
To throw is Namath.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd down.
Play fake, now Namath.
Wide open receiver, complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Namath.
Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. From 8 yards out, and the Jets have taken the lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Nick Folk for the point after. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it ends with a Jet touchdown. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. New England trying to get a place on offense. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Brady again here on 2nd and 10. He finds his man complete. That's Morgan. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Brady going to try and throw on 3rd down.
Short throw complete to Gronkowski.
And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the 1st down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here.
Their quarterback in this offense heading back out to the field. He had the touchdown pass last time they had it. And they'll start here with a 1st and 10.
They start the drive with Martin. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
49 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
3-4 defense, and that O-line really dominated the D-line on that play.
And think of it this way. With a 3-4, you have a natural bubble over each guard because those guys don't have defenders over them. Oftentimes, if you want to run up the middle, they can get upfield and get on the linebackers right now, and that gives the running back a heck of a chance to get into the secondary.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Namath to throw. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right?
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Here's Brady. Looking for Gronkowski. Out route. He's got him.
It'll be a gain of 5. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And the Patriots are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Here's Brady to throw. And Gronkowski hauls it in for a Patriot touchdown.
A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Patriots have regained the lead. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And the lead is now 10-7. Gronkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
And New York set to take the field.
Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the 4th quarter. But you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's 1 interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, you know, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down.
And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Now Namath.
And his throw here's incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. And a 10th carry here for Martin. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. A good effort there, 9 yards, but it's going to leave him looking at a 4th and 1.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Here's the Jets punter now as he's on here to punt it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away.
The Patriots with the football here late in this first half. And they may just be content to take this 3-point lead and head into the locker room.
Brady now on first down.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw.
Short throw complete to Gronkowski.
Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Let's go, man.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down. Throwing now is Brady. To the right side, and he's got Edelman. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Now the Patriots will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Again, it's Brady. Oh, he's got him in wide open, complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call.
Let's focus in on what we got to do here. Playmakers, step up right there.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So we've reached halftime here at Gillette Stadium with the Patriots on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report.
The big story thus far has really been the snow. It's made footing treacherous, and if the forecast holds, it's only going to get worse. But I can tell you as a fan, these are the games you love to watch.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this 3rd quarter in what's been a tight contest so far.
This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the 2nd half. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter.
Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the 2nd quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
Name it to throw on first down. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
From the gun, it's Namath.
And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Throwing is Namath. And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's second down.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Here's Namath.
And Martin's got it, complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 26. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
A give left to Martin.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's second down. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
On second down, it's Namath.
Looking middle, and that's complete. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 18 yards that time to push him up, first and goal.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
Back to throw here. And that is caught, but he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge, incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's second and goal now. Back to the ground, Martin. And once again, he'll get possibly back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on third and goal.
Partner's been my experience that after 2 stops like that near the goal line, defenses only become bolder. They don't back off at all. I think they continue to bring pressure and force them to make a really big play against them.
And the incompletion, then the run for no gain. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. A great play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Jets have tied the ball game with a chance to take the lead.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
So here are the Patriots now. They get ready for their first possession of half number 2.
And Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, 1-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth, almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, you know, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side, trying to match each other.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at a 45. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory.
50 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
They'll go right back to the ground with Falk. And he is going to lose yardage here. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
3rd and 2.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
And he will have a Patriots first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Now they'll throw with Brady. Brought in by Coates. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. To throw, it's Brady. It's complete. He finds Falk here. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now Brady. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Morgan. And he's going to have a gain of 11 to the 11 before he's brought down. 1st and 10.
Boy, everything clicking on this drive. He's 4 for 4 now, and that throw, maybe the best of the bunch. This offense is really humming, and they pick up another first down.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Brady. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down.
He'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. To throw is Brady. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. And the Jets defense making things difficult there. 4th down.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And his kick is indeed good, and they have regained the lead.
So a response there to the touchdown of the opening drive of this 3rd quarter as they're able to reclaim the lead.
And I think you'll take that because obviously you'd like to be able to match them touchdown for touchdown, but the first order of business was to get the lead back, and they've done that. Now you want to give a good pep talk to your defense to take it from there.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away.
This taken in right around the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
And New York set to take the field.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Off the play fake, it's Namath.
He's got a man. That's caught left sideline. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a 1st down.
Now Martin running left.
And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Now this throw caught left side. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 27-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Brandon, there have been some memorable snow games for championships in the NFL. 1948, Philadelphia Eagles, Chicago Cardinals.
Well, the most famous one in my lifetime, I think, is got to be 01, right? Raiders, Patriots, just in the Patriots to the Super Bowl.
You got to go to the roll, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one people remember. I also know this. In Miami, the infamous one, the snowplow game in New England, when they went out there and the Patriots had a guy come out and clear a spot on the field for their field goal kicker to kick the game winner.
Is that 82?
That was 82, and the Dolphins fans will never forget it.
Well, we're not seeing one of those famous games here, but it's fun to be in the snow nonetheless. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
At this point in the second half, one mistake on a forced throw could doom your chances of a comeback, so that's the right call there to just throw that one away.
Third quarter of a 2-point game, a good one so far. Here's 2nd and 10. They'll give to Martin here out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for him. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
So on comes a field goal unit for the Jets. Here's Nick Folk. That's just 32 yards officially from the right hash. And Folk's kick is good, and they have regained the lead. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say, if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. And now out come the Patriots. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. On play action, now Brady. Over the middle, complete. It's Morgan. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 32 that time.
Running their plays over and over during the week can often get robotic for an offense, but on game day they can often flow smoothly, as that one just did.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Brady going to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Morgan. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough. So not quite a 1st down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And a 2nd wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Brady now on 1st down. Looking for Gronkowski. Out route, he's got him. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first. I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Into the red zone, it's Brady. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. And his kick is right there. It's good, and they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. On 1st and 10 now, Namath throwing middle, and it's complete. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
New England on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Another tote for the workhorse, Martin. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Now Namath. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Well, so much of playing quarterback in the snow comes down to trying not to do too much. You can't just keep telling yourself, throws downfield we've run every day in practice all year. But guess what? They suddenly become more difficult. And this one gets away from him and winds up an interception.
So the Patriots coming out now.
Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage.
So after the INT, it's Brady. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Second down and a yard.
Now a give left side to Falk. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line.
66 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angle? And he keeps fighting his way into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. A 10-yard touchdown run.
And the Patriots are able to build on to their 4th quarter lead.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes this a 9-point game. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was finished off with a 10-yard touchdown scamper. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away.
And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. So the completion gets him just a yard, and that will bring up 2nd down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a 1-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. 2nd and 9 now from the 21.
Namath.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league, totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
But sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
From the gun is Namath.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Here's the Jets punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty.
Personal foul. Roughing the kick.
Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try and rise up and overcome it.
So 1st and 10 after a big mistake on 4th down with a penalty. And off comes to Martin.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7. Namath to throw.
Goes underneath to Martin. So no gain on the play. 3rd and 7 now. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Here's Namath.
And that is incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And the Patriots take over, and they're going to have terrific field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
A good job in coverage there. They took away his top read on the play, so he went through his progressions and ended up settling on his running back who scored on their last possession, but the coverage held. It goes incomplete.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll drop to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
Now Brady.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Patriots 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
They'll give to Falk up the middle. And here he'll get it down to the 7. call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Well, no doubt here in the fourth quarter, this is a huge defensive series.
Hey, they can read the scoreboard. They realize if they give up a field goal here, this game might be out of reach. They understand the stakes and are playing accordingly.
2nd and 6 with the ball on the 7.
Running right, here's Falk. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Here now a 3rd down and 8.
Now Brady. And Gronkowski hauls it in for a Patriot touchdown. A great effort there. A beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And the Patriots have extended their lead to 15 now here in the 4th. A 15-point game now. You make the extra point, and that means on the other side you need 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. That's a pretty tall order here in the 4th quarter.
Agreed, because they really needed to come up with a stop there, and even if it was just to hold them to a field goal. Now they need to pull out the lucky horseshoe because they've got to get an onside kick, and we've seen nowadays those are incredibly difficult to come by.
And not to mention they got to get the touchdown and a 2-point conversion first.
And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for 2.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The offense for the Jets ready to take over. A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side. Their defense came through, was able to hold them without any points.
I would agree with you, partner. A little bit of a lucky break indeed, but you know what they'd say to us? No luck, just pure skill. We rose to the challenge, and we didn't permit a score. That's how we roll.
Well, I'm kind of curious, Charles, if they might temper their aggressiveness now offensively if they get in that 4th down spot again.
Yeah, one would think so, but maybe because they held them, they might go for it again.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Namath now from the gun. This one brought in by Corbett. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
15 yards there on the play as they try to chip away at this 15-point deficit.
You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now. To throw is Namath.
Drops it off to Martin. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Well, the elements, the crowd, the situation, this is NFL football at its best. Here's third down. Throwing is Namath. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
He already came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
Where will the pressure come from? 4th and 6 now.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. So now with a little over 2 minutes to play, the road back gets very difficult.
Difficult, but still not impossible if they go ahead and play this thing out. Now the defense has to come up big. They've got to go for their strip of the football on each and every snap to try and give themselves a chance.
Very good starting position for the Patriot offense as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. And defensive back Jamal Adams in on the stop. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here.
And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line.
And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
Five points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down.
Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Now 2nd and 5.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3.
Here's Brady.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away.
This fielded right at the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds. They've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Now he dumps this off over the middle, and he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters, and this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th, but a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight.
And he goes down. It's a Patriots sack. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
On second down, it's Namath. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. That'll give them 8 that time. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Patriots winners here at home as we say so long from Foxborough.